It's Ian here. Welcome to another 5-minute marketing tip. I've been preparing today for an upcoming workshop I've got on winning corporate clients. And as I was going through my notes, something jumped out at me as being a really perfect topic for a 5-minute marketing tip because it's fairly simple to understand, but it has profound implications. It can make a really big difference in the number of meetings with potential clients you get. Works in any circumstances, but it's especially useful if you do target those larger clients. I'll explain all after the break. Hi, welcome back. So I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. The first question is, how keen would you be, on the assumption that you don't need to renew your insurance right now, how keen would you be to meet with an insurance salesperson to talk about their products and services and how they can help you? My guess is not very keen at all. Not that there's anything against insurance people, very fine people, it's a great job. But none of us are really keen to meet with any salespeople to talk about products and services that we don't think we need right now. Now just contrast that with how keen you would be to meet up with Richard Branson or Warren Buffett or Mark Cuban or any of your big business heroes or idols to grab some time with them and just ask them questions about business and get some useful information back. My guess you would be very keen to have that meeting. And the reason is, in that meeting itself, irrespective of what happened later, you'd get great value from that meeting. You'd get useful insights and ideas. You'd be able to ask them questions that would help you steer your business. So you'd be really keen to have the meeting. Now, here's the thing. When most of us are thinking about getting meetings with potential clients, we tend to focus on the tactics or the techniques. So we worry about, should I ask for a referral? Should I do a cold email or a cold call? What should the subject line be? How do I get past the gatekeeper? Etc., etc. But if you think back to that salesperson meeting versus the Branson meeting situation, you know that salesperson could have done anything. They could have called, they could have emailed, they could have written the cleverest subject line, they could have skywritten the invite to the meeting through an aeroplane in the sky. It wouldn't have made any difference. You're probably going to say no to that meeting. On the other hand, Richard Branson could have wandered up, could have mumbled and stumbled over his wording, really cocked it up, yet you would still want to have that meeting with him. And the reason is, it's not the tactics, it's not the techniques that you use. Sure, you know, some techniques are better than others and they can get you kind of incremental improvements in the numbers of meetings you get. But the really important thing, the order of magnitude difference, is in the value that you perceive in the meeting. You see that you'll get a ton of value from a meeting with Richard Branson. You don't see that you get much value at all from a meeting with that salesperson. And that's the real key for you to get meetings with your potential clients. So it's not about the tactics you use. Of course, you need some decent tactics, but it's more about the potential value that clients see in meeting with you. They need to be seeing you, a bit like you saw that meeting with Branson, as being really highly valuable. Now, how do you get into that situation? Well, the long-term way of doing it is to build yourself up as an authority in your field so that people see you as naturally someone they would really like to meet with because you've got brilliant ideas and information that could help them in their business or life. In the short term, if you haven't established that position yet, you can do it in a couple of ways. One way is simply to make sure that instead of asking for a meeting to talk about how you could help them, your products and services, etc., which is what most people do, instead ask for a meeting to share valuable information. So create a benchmarking report, case studies, a white paper, whatever it might be, and then offer that to a potential client. I call it a high value briefing. Whatever format it's in, they will see from the topics and what you've done that you will be able to give them useful, valuable information in that meeting. They'll be a heck of a lot more interested in having that meeting. Now, if you haven't done benchmarking, you haven't got case studies, etc., time you did. If you want to get serious about getting important meetings with high value, important potential clients, you need to get serious about it. You need to give them a really good reason for meeting with you. Now, another way you can go about it is in 2 steps. So especially if you're going in completely cold, what you can do is you can use a lead magnet first. So rather like the way many of us have a lead magnet, a free report or a video, etc. on our website, you can also use that in outbound marketing. Now, you don't want one of those kind of one-page checklist type ones. You want something that adds real value, but you offer that to them. So that could be a benchmarking report, a white paper or whatever, that you just offer to send to them. For the people who say, yes, I'd really like that, you follow up with emails to send them more valuable information. You make the offer of the meeting to go through the report in more detail or to explain some more detailed case studies or whatever it might be. Worst case, what happens is that they don't want to have that meeting straight away, but you've still increased credibility and trust with them over time, and they'll get more and more ready to have that meeting with you. Best case, they'll be ready to have that meeting with you when you offer. You'll go in, you'll talk to them. Now, you can't just go in and sell. You have to go in and share the value and the ideas and what you said you'd give to them. But usually what happens at the end of that, if you've done a great job, is they'll begin to reach. If it's in an area they care about that's important to them, they'll begin to reach and ask you questions about what you could do to help them. So that's the key thing. Make sure you're asking for Branson meetings where you add value rather than salesperson meetings where you just talk about how you can help them, and you will get a heck of a lot more meetings. I'll see you on next week's tip.